Hi guys, and welcome back to Koi Fish Johnny. I know it's been a while since my last pond update about the clarity of the pond water, because we had an amazing increase in depth, so we was able to see a lot further into the pond. It seems to have sort of stabilised at the depth, so it's about 1.5 to 2 meters into the pond you can see, and then after that you can't see. So in short, it's not crystal clear. It's not as clear as I want. In fact, before I move on to subjects there, one of the things that I did do when I noticed when I moved the pond speed down and the vortex slowed down, a lot of it seemed to drop. So all the little segments I was getting in the top of the water, the segments moving around, I was able to drop down. And head towards the bottom drain. So I'm actually not seeing as much individual particles flying around the pond. So it has got better, but still not perfect. Unsure why, but now I've just had enough. It's been too long. It's like we're literally coming out of spring soon and we're still in the same position. So I literally bought this, which was recommended by a friend on here who has a lot more knowledge than me. And he said, just bang this in. You've been through everything now. It's been a long journey. Just get that stuff banged in, mate. And it will literally do it within hours or days, I can't remember, but very, very, very quickly. So I can stop wasting all my time. Now, I'd just like to stop for 1 second and apologise for the noise in the background, because it is a beautiful day here in Manchester, although the pond is in the shade, but I've got a royal visitor right there, if you can see her. There she is. Nan! Nan! Wave! Look. There's the Queen herself. Oh. Yeah, so my nan's popped over because it's Jubilee weekend, and it's no doubt she'll be having a few gin and tonics in a while. So it's really nice to have all the family out. So I've got my son there, Dylan, in the background, Jack's rolling around, and a Wi-Fi in at the back. I'm not sure whether she wants to be on it because she looks like she's positioning herself out of shot, but she is a right slice of cake. So back down here to the pond, and we'll just have a look. And if you can see, now that I've got a new camera, you'll be able to see a lot more detail. So the fish are starting to pop the little heads up. His carp box is falling off him slowly, but I have noticed something underneath his chin at the minute that I'm just keeping an eye on. But his carp box is falling off because obviously we're going through spring. Over the winter it gets worse, in the spring it comes off. The clarity, as you can see, we cannot see the bubbles. When the lighting is right, we can see down to the bubbles, which is halfway down the pond, which is 2.2, just over 2 meters. But the minute you can't see them, and I want to see them, but if you look through the top of the surface, if I can angle this right, just up here you can see, you can get quite far back towards the other window. I've seen the bits and pieces on top of there. I'm just going to stand up now because my knees are aching. So back to this stuff. So originally I ordered this 250 mil, but my pond is 11,000 litres, so I had to wait a little bit longer while I got his big brother. This one treats 4,550 litres. This one treats 18,200 litres. So I've got enough there to do my pond twice over, because it'll take, because I broke it down earlier, it will take 600 millilitres to treat the pond for the first dose. What I've got to do is make sure I'm observing my pond. That's why I'm doing a quick video now. I would have done it later when it's quieter, when the kids are in bed. But I want to spend the rest of the afternoon just watching the fish and making sure that I'm on top of them. I know what they're doing. There isn't any changes in behaviour as such, especially because it's coming around to their peak time for movement, which is in the evening. And night time, that seems to be their most active period. During the morning, they are down at the bottom sleeping, which is probably a good thing because that's when herons are out. Which is an interesting thing, because I've been Googling that actually. I've been Googling like, when do fish sleep? And because my fish are super active between like the hours of, I'd say, 5 till about 12 at night, which is probably the time that the pond is the quietest, because the road at the back isn't as noisy, the kids aren't banging around, and it's just generally me popping out, saying hello and watching them through the window. So that tends to be their most active time. I'd like to know, through everyone else's experience that has got koi here, when their fish wake up and when is their most active time and when do theirs go to sleep. I mean, I actually Googled, are koi nocturnal? And they're not. So I think their behaviour is their sleeping pattern is largely based on my behaviour, if that makes any sense. But nonetheless, it's a subject of great intrigue to me that I spent quite a bit of time looking around. And one thing I'd like to say is this Hawaiian shirt looks banging on this on what I'm looking at now. You might not agree with me, but I quite think that floral pattern is something special, because I am super in love with Hawaiian shirts. It's like my symbol of when I clock off work and everything else is out the window. It's Johnny time, so I bang the Hawaiian shirt on. So I've got about 10 of them upstairs, and for holiday. But anyway, back to the fish. So I'm going to treat them now with that. It says about the vortex or the flow being reduced if it's a strong flow. I'm on a vary pump. As you know, I've pumped it down, so it hasn't got a particularly fast, massive current. So I'm just going to leave the pumps on. Aeration, I've turned up, as you can see there at the back. As you can see there at the back, the aeration on top of the pond is turned up. I might even pump it up a little bit more on that. I did my pond parameter checks, which I'll probably just bang in the video now. Okay guys, so just took the pond test parameters check. Everything's bang on, as you can see, apart from the pH is a little bit higher than I'd like it. On the camera it looks, 1 second, a little bit darker than it does in real life. If I just hold that up. Oh, it's very difficult to show you, but you can see there. Well, it's showing up as darker on the camera, but in real life that's 8, which is still quite high, but nothing to worry about really, other than I really don't want it going any higher than that. Ammonia, perfect. NO2, little tiny dinkles. NO3, the nitrates, little tiny bit there. pH is about 8, KH came in at 8, and GH also came in at 8. So all looking quite good, other than I am having to stay on top of my pH, going to 8, maybe 8.1. It just looks darker on camera, it really does. It's not that dark. I think it might be just the fact it's surrounded by dark colours or whatever. But yeah, all looking good, so all clear to get the go ahead and treat the pond. As you can see there guys, my pH was a little bit higher than I'd like. It's like 8, just over 8. On the video it doesn't show it, if my memory's serving me right, it doesn't show it in its true clarity. It actually looks darker on the video than it is in real life. But trust me, it's just over 8 I'd say, depending on the light that you hold it in. A little bit higher than I'd like, but other than that, we are bang on sweet on every single parameter on the pond, looking really good. Because the other thing that this says is the pH cannot be below 7, which you'd never like in your koi pond anyway. And the KH, which we boosted up recently, that can't be below 6, and ours is at 8. So this pond is at the optimal conditions now. NT Labs Magiclear to be banged in, and let's see what a difference this can make, because this has honestly been one hell of a journey. So if you're new to the channel and you haven't seen the journey that I've been through trying to eradicate this green water syndrome, using increases in pump speed, decreases in pump speed, increases in flow, I've literally tried everything to try and get the pond to go back to how it was during the winter and during the summer of last year and the spring of last year, which is seen right down to the bottom. We literally should be able to sit here, especially on this camera, and look pretty much right through, especially them bubbles. They should be HD, you should be able to see them beautifully rising, and that is something that I do enjoy watching, as well as the fish. But one thing I'd like to say is, just because I've got green water doesn't mean the fish are in danger. It's literally, they survive in, or they thrive in mud ponds over in Japan. So the water clarity is literally just something for us humans. It's just something that we can enjoy looking at our fish, and we can see more of them, which is the reason we've got these beautiful swimming jewels, the nishigais. So without further ado, I'm going to mix up that clean bucket there, ready, that's what it says. Get some pond water out in a minute, pour 600 ml in, whisk it around, and then just add it systematically round the pond gently, so then it can flow into it. It says if it clumps anything together, sometimes it can rise up and you just remove it off the top, but generally it's going to go down, through the vortex, spinning down to the bottom drain into the nexus. So I'm going to have to drop that again because I've just dropped it now, and I'll drop it again at 10 o'clock tonight. Hopefully when everything has been pulled, all segments down, bind it together to the bottom drain, and then we can take it out. I'm really am if this doesn't work, I'm literally going to have to get a pond doctor out or something to have a look at it, because if it does not work this, I do not know what's going on, because it's just a mystery. So let's hope that this works. Let's go for it, guys. Okay guys, so I'm literally mixing this up. I've just put the 250 in, and I've got 350 more mil to put in. All you do is squeeze it, fill it up to 25 mil marker on it, and you pour it out. So you can see 25 mil. There. So I need 14 of those in total. I've done 2 already. So you just squeeze like that, fill up to 25, pour it in, through. Squeeze, 25, pour it in, 4. So I've got to do 14 of them, so I'm not going to video all that, but I'm going to pop them all in there right now. 1, 2,
5.
What?
5.
3. Why have you got to interrupt me? Why has he got to interrupt me when I'm in the middle of this? What's on? 3? I'm on 3. I've got another 7 to go, yeah. Cheers, mate. 4 to go. 3 to go. 2 to go. 1 to go. Done.
Done.
Done. Say done. Done. Yeah. Done.
Any more?
No more. It's done. So that's it. We've got all 16 of them in there, 14 of them in there, as well as an intruder that intruded all the way through it, and plus the 250 mil from before, so we've got 600 mil in total. Go whisk it around, and then I'm going to pour it around. I'm not going to video pouring it around because I think that's probably a little bit boring. I'll check back to you in a minute when I've done it. I've just added the Magiclear to the pond, and that is what we can see from the air bubbles now, the aeration. So if we just walk across there, we can see what we can see. So you can see them quite relatively clearly, to be honest. I think it'll probably pick that up, as well as the sun shining on my head. But I'm going to also spin you around and show you my nan.
Oh no.
Here she is, my nan, Queen. Put Jubilees, celebrating the Queen's Jubilee, aren't we?
Oh yes, definitely.
Are we going to get drunk tonight?
But I've only got tea here, it's not giving me any wine yet.
We're going to get on that gin and tonic soon and get drunk like rascals, aren't we?
Yes.
Hi guys, so a quick little update there with Queen in background. What I've just noticed as I'm sat outside just watching the pond is lots of little clumps like that. There. Just binding together since, oh, I'm not sure whether that is actually a clump or a part of poo, but you can see the particles. I'm hoping this will bring it up. There's lots and lots and lots of little particles that weren't there before. Sorry, I've got no top on, just enjoying the sun. I'm hoping it will bring it through, and you can see it seems to be, like it says on the bottle, clumping together and dropping down. Right, I'm going to be attacked now, so that's the end of that. But there you can see there as he's walking off now, you can see parts being binded together and going right down. So fingers crossed, it's only been half an hour. Fingers crossed. Look at that, we can see down to the bottom, but we can't see the bottom train, but there, you see the particles binded together. I think that's the effect of this Magiclear. Okay, so let's keep observing, let's keep watching, see what's happening. And because the pond's quite narrow, sometimes it holds stuff up here. And as you can see, I did that stuff about 45 minutes ago now. You can see there, look at all these little binded parts that they say. It says on it, some will float. And because this isn't being sucked up by the skimmer yet, it will do in a bit, because I'll just turn the aeration down to the pond after this treatment's finished. But you can see there what is binded together, lots and lots of little bits. So just another interesting part of this treatment. We'll update again soon.